There are a number of watch companies around today that let you design your own watch to a lesser or greater level of customization. I recently reviewed Ioniq, for instance, that let you customize your watch through choosing everything from case finishes to handsets and even down to unique dial designs with your own text or images, as well as customized rotors on the movements. So do check out that video linked here. But even as more and more companies offer watch customization, what about taking it to the next level? What about building your own watch? It's intriguing, right? The thought of building your own watch from scratch and then wearing something on your wrist that you've put together and that you know inside and out. That's exactly what DIY Watch Club allow you to do. They send you all of the watch parts plus the tools and the instructions on how to put it all together. So in this video we're going to take a look at the process of building your very own watch and see what the finished product looks like. DIY Watch Club provide you with all of the parts and also importantly the tools needed to assemble the watch. They offer a couple of different dress watch models, but what we'll be looking at is their dive watch model with a blue bezel and a blue parachute styled strap. As you can see, you begin with a zipped nylon case that contains all of the watch components and tools that you'll need. Now as you look at all of this stuff, you may be apprehensive, especially if you've never changed a watch strap or you've never opened up a case back before, but do not worry. You don't have to be a watchmaker to put all of this together. Although I will say that if you freak out when seeing some assembly required or you refuse to shop at IKEA, then this may not be the project for you. I think that if you are into how things work and you like watches, then you will definitely love this. And yes, there are detailed instructional videos on the DIY Watch Club website to guide you through the entire process step by step. I'm not going to go through the building process as there are instructional videos for that, but I do want to comment on how engaging and fun this process was. When buying a watch, I think we all get excited about choosing a piece, thinking about its aesthetics, its specifications, its history or its ethos. We read or watch reviews, we try it on at a store and then we hunt for a good price. But for this watch, you can throw all of that out the window, as this is an entirely different experience. This watch is about making something with your own hands and learning a bunch about the little machine that will then sit on your wrist. This is about an interaction with the mechanics of time, and it's as much about the building experience as it is about the finished watch. Having said that, the watch itself is a nice, if basic, piece. The stainless steel case is a good size for most wrists, and it has brushed and polished surfaces with nice beveling along the edges. The diver's bezel has the usual 1 to 60 markings, so you can time your dive, or anything else for that matter, and it's also made of stainless steel with a very nice brushed finish of the blue paint. The crown is a good size for gripping to set the time or to wind the watch. It's also great to see that it is a screw down crown to increase the water resistance, and it's signed with an etched D for DIY Watch Club. The dial of the watch is basic with a matte black finish and painted hour indices. However, there are a few interesting details like the cool geometric design of the hour indices themselves, which are also loomed for nighttime visibility, and the white frame around the date. That's also really nice to see. Also printed on the dial are the D logo, the watch reference, automatic, water resistant, and 200 meters in red, which lends a nice little pop of colour. A word of caution on the 200 meter water resistance. It's great to see such a high number, but considering that we're putting this together ourselves and not in a professional setting, probably the actual level of water resistance may be somewhat degraded from that 200 meters. Finally, the hands are really nice with large triangular hour arrow and sword minute hands. They're both loomed and they've been finished with a bevel running up their center lines. The second's hand is also really delicate and has a loomed triangular counterweight. I'm really digging the looks of this watch. The movement that drives this watch is a Seiko NH35A. It has a decent power reserve of 41 hours, and it is hacking, meaning that you can stop the seconds hand to set the time more precisely. There's no decoration to speak of on the movement other than light brushing on the bridges, and the rotor is also very plain. This is a basic but very reliable automatic movement, and it's really not out of place in a watch at this price point. For me, it's certainly preferable to a lot of other basic movements, and I'm happy with its use here. It's visible through a mineral crystal caseback, and I think it gives folks, especially new to automatic watches, a great view of the movement, and also lets you show off your work to friends. The stainless steel of the caseback is very nicely brushed, and the etched info is well done. The watch strap is a blue parachute style that has a white line running up the centre. Parachute straps were originally made out of the same stretchy material used in parachute strapping by the military, and I find that it provides a similar look to a NATO strap, but with increased comfort due to the stretchiness. It's also really easy to put on and to take back off again. This one looks very good, and it complements the blue of the bezel really nicely. It also has stainless steel hardware and a signed hook fastener. Only time will tell how durable it is, but it certainly seems well made. Adjustment is relatively simple as well, and to give you some reference, my wrist is about 7 inches or 18 centimeters in circumference, and there's still plenty of strap left over for me. What about the bad stuff? There are a few negatives with this DIY watch experience. If you're not very dexterous, then you may simply get frustrated with the entire build process, or you might be unhappy with the way the watch turns out, as it's really easy to end up with a misaligned part, or dust or smudges on the inside of the crystal, the dial, or the movement, and I know that kind of stuff can drive me really crazy. Although I will say that the online instructions are very well done and easy to follow. DIY Watch Club also supply you with backup hands in the kit, just in case you bend some beyond repair on your first attempt at the hand setting, which is definitely the most challenging part of the watch build. The other negative with the watch is that its front crystal is mineral glass and not sapphire. Sapphire is superior in its scratch resistance, and it would have been nice to see it here. Having said that, a sapphire crystal is available for a premium of $25 on the price of the kit, and I would recommend springing for that if you purchase this thing. It would also be great to have a ceramic bezel that would resist scratches instead of the supplied painted stainless steel, but at this price you can't expect everything. Otherwise, I struggle to find anything I don't like about this. If you take the watch as a standalone piece, I think it's a good value and it's worth the price of the kit at $295. When you add in the novel building experience and all of the supplied tools, the deal just gets that much sweeter. Putting this watch together has been a very cool experience, and I'd highly recommend this as a gift for someone who is into watches or has a general interest in knowing how things work, or even just for someone who wants bragging rights for being able to say, I built this watch that I'm wearing. I'd liken the DIY Watch Club kit to a brewery tour. Right? If you've ever been on a brewery tour, you get to see behind the curtain to a greater extent than the normal consumer. You get an experience, not just a product off the shelf. And you get to frequently keep a beer glass to remind you of the fun you had, and also to allow you to continue to make use of it. So it's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. What do you think of my DIY watch? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do please like and subscribe.